Assalamu alaikum, dear students, and here we are for this second and last video that deals with the fourth marketing mix policy, the fourth P, which is promotion. But actually, when we say promotion, what we mean is all communication actions. So, because promotion is just one part, sales promotion is just one part of the mixed communication, and with the P, we mean all what the company does to better communicate about its products. So let's get started with. So here's something very important, because first I thought that we have to say some few words about the concept of communication, which is communication is a huge concept. It is actually a social science. Communication is considered as a social science, but before it becomes social, um, communication was a matter um, of scientists. Authors have developed several models to better understand how communication works, and one of the major model was a linear model developed by some engineers. I don't remember the first name. It was Shannon. Yes, Shannon and Weaver. Those are the there were engineers, telecom engineers, and they were the first authors that gave a proposal to better understand how communication works. So it was a simple model involving sender, receiver, the message, and the channel through which the message is transmitted, because it was their conception of communication, a communication which is based on technological tools. And then what happened is that a group of scientists with different backgrounds, and especially from social science, they raised the need for developing a communication model that would be particular to human science and social science, and that would be an alternative to the mathematical theory, the theory of the linear model of Shannon and Weaver, and they actually this new models that were developed place communication as a social process rather than just a technical process. It is much more a social process of sharing information and participating to to the spread of information. This group of authors, this movement, was known as Palo Alto School, and Palo Alto is just the name of the town in which the movement was founded. So it is very, very famous movement in when you study communication. And there is a famous statement of the Palo Alto School is that you cannot not communicate. This statement was actually we could think of it as the birth of the concept of nonverbal communication. This means that the company is basically forced to care for its communication and to give it a special interest, because even when there's no communication action, the company still sends some message. For example, if you don't communicate, if you don't make advertisement, nor promotion actions, no direct marketing actions, this actually sends some message. It tells something. It tells your it tells the market and your target market that you are not there, you are not in the game. It says that the company, maybe the company is absent or non-performant or just doesn't exist. So even when you don't communicate, actually you are conveying some kind of message. So this is what this statement this is the idea beyond this statement. It is everything, actually everything you do or you don't do could be considered as a message. So the purpose of this section is really to define what are those tools that are available and that marketers could use for communicating value to the customer. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Here in this slide, what you can see is the two famous strategies that are used in communication but also in distribution. We can think of them as communication strategies, and we can also think of them as distribution strategies. So here there's those two basic promotion mix strategies, namely push promotion or pull promotion. We can also refer to them as push strategies or pull strategies. So those strategies are kind of opposite. So let's understand what push strategy is. Let's start with the push strategy. So push marketing strategy is designed to increase demand by focusing on intermediaries, and especially on wholesalers or on salespeople. And it is based on the fact that the company pushes the product to the consumers through distribution channels. So a push strategy involves pushing the product through marketing channels to the final consumers, as you can see here in the pattern here. The producer actually the producer manages its marketing activities by pushing the product toward channel members to induce them to carry out the product and to promote it to the final consumers. So this strategy is also based on what we call transactional marketing. Transactional marketing is a marketing that is focused especially on the transaction. It doesn't really care about making a relationship with the customers and how the customers may feel. At the opposite, we have the pull marketing strategy, which is designed completely at it's completely the opposite process, because it is designed to get consumers to pull the product into the supply chain by demanding retailers and by seeking the product. So basically what they do, they do some kind of advertisement, and by using this, the producer will rather attract the customer to the product, and the customer will be addressing to the intermediaries, and will be seeking the product. So it's completely the opposite process. So in the first one, producer direct its marketing activities toward the intermediaries, and in the second one, the producer directs its marketing activities toward final consumers. So if the pull strategy is effective, because the pull strategy is much more delicate, and if it is effective, consumers will be demanding the brand from retailers, who will in return demand it from the producer. So I think that I made it clear. I hope that I made it clear. So now that we have explained these two strategies, we can explain and describe the different tools, what we call the promotion mix. The promotion mix is the set of tools, the set of communication and promotion tools that the company uses to communicate customer value and build customer relationship. So we can call it promotion mix, but it is also known as marketing communication mix. Both of expression are common. So it consists of first the advertising, which is the most common and the most famous. Everybody know what advertising is. Then you have public relations, then personal selling, sales promotion, and finally we have direct marketing. So those are tools that will be used to deliver value to consumers. When we say value, it means informations, emotions, especially informations about the product, and the emotions that can result from those tools. For example, when you have an advertisement that is very well done, it can generate some emotions which could lead the customer to seek for the product, or sometimes emotions may result from a very good relationship with salespersons. So this is just an example, but everything that is communicated could be considered as a value. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So of course you know what advertising is, but it is useful to define it. So advertising is any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods or services by an unidentified sponsor. So it means what we mean by non-personal, it means that there's not an interaction. It is like in a unique sense, there's no interaction. Okay, it refers to a kind of communication that comes from the company and goes straight toward the consumer, and the feedback that we are expecting would be a purchase. Advertising can include broadcast, TV broadcasting, prints, online advertising, mobile advertising, outdoor advertising like billboards, and all other forms that can be included in this definition is considered as advertising. Next one is, let's see, sales promotion. So sales promotion we have already dealt with, if you remember, when we were explaining functions, distribution functions, we also mentioned sales promotions. And what sales promotion is, first, it is different from advertising because it is much more short-term process. It is a short-term incentive that which aims to encourage the purchase of sales of a product or service. This is why when we were talking about the penetration strategy as a launch pricing strategy, we said that it is always combined with sales promotions. So sales promotion are implemented in stores. This is why we always say that promotion and sales promotion and distribution channels are really linked, and it could be discounts. It includes discounts. It may include also joint sales, coupons, demonstration like food tasting, for example, games, lottery, and contest. Actually, this is not an exhaustive list. Every technique that is which aim is to encourage a short-term reaction from the customer, and which would be a purchase. Okay, so, and which take place especially in stores. Every technique that is thought of this way could be considered as sales promotion. So there's not really a limit in the techniques. There's no limit. We can always think about new techniques to make the customers buy and pick your product and buy it for a certain period of time. Okay, so next one is a personal selling. Actually, I think that this is the most important or the most delicate promotion mix tool, because when you have to market goods and services, it really depends on the personal contact, the persons you deal with when you are in the store as a customer. So marketing managers or sales managers, they define strategy for salesforce. We say personal selling, and we also can use the term salesforce. Both are correct, and this personal selling should be able to to know how to bring new customers, how to sell product, and for this they often benefit from training in selling techniques, and they should also be able to make the customer loyal. So bringing new customers and keeping the existing customers are the two major objectives of personal selling. So as a definition, we can say that personal selling is the personal interaction by the firm's sales force, so sellers, for the purpose of engaging customers, making sales, and building strong customer relationship, which will make those customers loyal. So all this comes under what is known as customer relationship management, and I think that some of you will deal with this topic, because it is very, very important in B2B and also in B2C. So personal selling may include sales representation, trade show, exhibits, incentive programs, selling techniques. All those elements can be gathered in the personal selling policy. Let's move to the next marketing promotion tool, which is the public relations. Public relation involves building good relations with companies' various publics. Those publics could be institution, state, non-profit associations, of course, customers, but also employees and future employees. It is very important, although small companies don't use it that much. It is a tool that is used especially by companies of big size, okay, because those companies have a big public, and they should really be aware of their image in the public. So basically it includes, actions, public relation actions, but we call it also PR. It is very common to just say PR. It may include interviews that the communication manager could have with the press. So all the press releases are among actions taken by public relation manager. But we include in this all the sponsorships. So when for example a company gives some amount of money to support an event, a sport event or cultural event, it is considered as public relation action. Sponsorship, but also philanthropy. Philanthropy also is considered as a public relation action. For example, you have some companies that dedicate some particular amount for students that are very skilled, but they cannot afford to follow to pursue their studies in universities. So what they do is that they give those scholarship for those students, And in public relation, all the actions that are done through what we call CRS, which is corporate responsible social responsibility, CSR, excuse me, CSR, corporate social responsibility. All the actions that are taken under this banner could be considered as public relation actions. I think that those are okay. There's still the digital marketing. So the digital marketing is a process that involve both new strategies, but that is very based upon the tools that was made possible by the internet. It involves engaging directly with target consumers and customer communities to both obtain an immediate response and build lasting customer relationships. So basically what digital marketing is as a strategy, it is not that different from any marketing process or any marketing strategies, but what would be what is different here, or what we could say it is a new tool, it is because it will you have new tools thanks to digital marketing. You have new tools how to use in order to make to make the relationship with customer more strong, to make them more loyal, and to be aware of all the touching point of those customers. So you have internet gives you new means and new ways to deal with your customers from a relationship perspective, from communication perspective. But the strategy beyond the digital marketing is a conventional strategy. What changes are really the tools used. Okay, so digital marketing is really a field that requires skills and technical skills rather than management skills. I think that was the last promotion mix. And here we have a concept that is very famous, which is called integrated marketing communications. It is just the way that you correlate and the way you link all those tools, all those promotion tools you have, how you manage them, how you make them coherent, is what we call integrated marketing communication, which means that every action, whether it is a public relationship, PR action, or a sales promotion action, every action should be well thought of, and it should be studied from all those tool perspective, because those days customers are really bombarded by brand content from a broad range of sources, from advertisement and also from direct marketing, emailing that you receive in your mailbox. But consumers, they don't always distinguish between the content sources the way we as marketers do. So, for example, social media marketing present tremendous opportunities, but also big challenges. So in this complexity, marketers must manage uh, those challenges and make choices so that um, all those actions comes together in a very coherent and organized way. This is what integrated marketing communication means. It means that everything has to be thought of uh, as globally, as a system. Okay. And last slide. This slide is very important because when you have defined the audience or the target market, um, the marketers, or let's say communication managers, have to develop an effective message. So this effective message, uh, ideally, of course, it's not always the case, but ideally, this message would follow this process, which we call AIDA model. And AIDA model is a framework. It is a theoretical framework that I am showing in this slide. In practice, it means that uh, the consumer will first get the message will first get consumers' attention, and then it will hold his interest. It should therefore arouse desire, and then the fourth step is that it should lead the customer to the purchase, which is the action, because this is actually a psychological model, and psychologists they always make the difference between uh, cognitive, which is the amount of information you can uh, that you are aware of, and then those information will develop an emotion, and the action, which is the behavior per se, would be the last step, and what we call cognitive step, which is the behavior, is the action. And here the action we are expecting is the purchase, is for the customer to go and to pick our product. Okay, so AIDA model is a very famous model. Of course, as I said, it is a theoretical model, and few messages would go from the awareness to the purchase this way. But what is interesting in this model, it is that it shows us what a good message, what are the good qualities of a good what are the qualities of a good message, what a good message should contain. It should contain information that will that will get and bring the customer's attention, and also it has to generate some emotion, and also this emotion should at the end of the day make the customer pick your product as the final purchase action. So I think that I have finished. This was the last slide, and I hope that I made it clear for you. Thank you. Bye.